The Scarlet Letter is set in 17th-century Puritan Boston, where strict religious and moral codes govern public and private life. Hester Prynne is publicly shamed for committing adultery and is forced to stand on the scaffold holding her infant daughter, Pearl, while wearing a Scarlet Letter A on her chest. Hester refuses to name Pearl's father, choosing silence over public confession despite intense pressure from religious and civic authorities. Her estranged husband arrives in Boston, concealing his identity under the name Roger Chillingworth and vowing to discover and punish Hester's lover. Chillingworth becomes the town physician, gaining close access to the sickly and emotionally tormented Reverend Arthur Dimmesdale. Dimmesdale, Pearl's true father, suffers crushing guilt and spiritual anguish, yet lacks the courage to confess his sin publicly. Chillingworth suspects the truth and deliberately torments Dimmesdale, becoming increasingly consumed by revenge. Hester lives on the outskirts of society, supporting herself and Pearl through needlework while enduring social isolation and contempt. Over time, Hester's quiet strength and charity leads some townspeople to reinterpret the Scarlet A as meaning able rather than adult. Pearl grows into a wild, perceptive child, often fixated on the Scarlet Letter and sensing the hidden truths of the adults around her. Hester and Dimmesdale meet secretly in the forest, where Hester urges him to escape Boston with her and begin a new life. Dimmesdale briefly resolves to flee, feeling momentarily freed by the plan. But his inner conflict deepens rather than disappears. Chillingworth learns of their escape plan and arranges to travel on the same ship, ensuring his control over Dimmesdale continues. During a public Election Day celebration, Dimmesdale ascends the scaffold and finally confesses his sin before the entire community. He reveals his own mark of guilt, either a physical Scarlet Letter on his chest or a symbolic manifestation of his torment. Dimmesdale dies shortly after his confession, spiritually redeemed but physically destroyed. Chillingworth, having lost his purpose for vengeance, withers and dies within a year, leaving Pearl a substantial inheritance. Pearl leaves New England, eventually becoming wealthy and socially integrated, suggesting liberation from her parents' shame. Hester later returns to Boston, voluntarily wearing the Scarlet Letter once more. Now as a symbol of experience and wisdom, she becomes a counselor to troubled women, offering compassion born of suffering. The novel ends with ambiguity, emphasizing the complex relationship between sin, punishment, identity, and redemption. Hawthorne concludes that moral truth is inward, not enforced by public shame, and that hidden guilt can be more destructive than acknowledged sin.
Please like, comment, share, and subscribe for more videos.